Dianne Donovan here for Classical Austin on KMFA, and we are in the Draylen Mason Music Studio. We, meaning I have a very special guest with me, the multi-talented, multi-instrumentalist, Carrie Rodriguez. She plays violin, guitar, sings, and of course writes her own songs, but she is here to tell us all about the next performance program of Laboratorio. And so we're really happy to have you. Thanks for taking the time.
Oh, thank you for having me, Diane. It's a real joy.
This involves 4 performances annually, and it celebrates Latin culture and with videos and storytelling. But I want to know where it began, if you would, and how long have you been doing it? And
Sure. Yeah, Laboratorio was really just kind of a project that stemmed out of my yearning for kind of getting to know our community in a deeper way, getting to understand what Latin music, I say that with air quotes, Latin music even means or sounds like, because I think, being a Latino in this country can mean and look so many different ways. We are just so diverse. And so that's been the mission of our project, is to represent that in the music that we perform and in the stories that we share. So we started out in 2017 at the Cactus Cafe. And I was like, I had been touring a lot up until that point. And in 2015, we had our son, Cruz, and that changed everything. And I was trying to find music that I could do at home more. And so I called up my friend Michael Ramos, who's a wonderful pianist, a producer, and told him about this idea of kind of exploring Latino culture through music and figuring out what Latin music is, and also who are the musicians in our city that play Latin music. Because I also felt at that time that our genres in this city are so separate. So we're so known for our singer-songwriters and folk music, but there is a thriving Latin music scene here. But there's like a lot of times there's just this divide.
Absolutely.
Like the freeway.
Yes, indeed. I-35.
So that was the start of it, and Michael helped me put together a wonderful house band. And then we would invite different guests to join us and kind of tell their story, both literally and with music. And we would learn their music and their songs, and they would learn a few of ours. And that's how we started.
Okay. Well, you have the one that's coming up, the concert that's coming up will take place November the 2nd at McCullough Theater as part of Texas Performing Arts Season, and we're excited about that. I believe you'll have another one with TPA in January. But could you tell us about this one? I know you have a couple of special guests, yes. Gabby Moreno and Mireya Ramos. So they're both Grammy winners. Tell us a little bit more about them.
Sure. Yes. So we have these 2 female singer-songwriters that I have admired for so many years. And yes, they are Grammy Award winners. Gabby Moreno comes from Guatemala originally. She's done a lot of work in film, recorded soundtracks for movies and written like theme songs. Yeah. And Mireya Ramos is part of an all-female mariachi group called Flor de Toloache, who we had as guests last year. That's where I first met her. Both of these women have actually performed with Adrian Quesada and are on his most recent Boleros albums,
yes.
Boleros Psicodélicos. And yeah, I think the original idea for this show is I knew I wanted to work with both of them at the same time, because I was really excited about singing together and doing some 3-part harmonies.
Oh, beautiful.
And once I started thinking about that, it made me start thinking about old-time radio and that tradition of having, 3 singers around a mic and that kind of harmony singing. So we decided to style the show after old-time radio. And the other influence for the show was watching KUTX host Lori Gallardo give a reading of a short story last year. And just being in the room while she was reading the story reminded me of the power of listening to a story. Just listening. And I feel like we don't do enough of that anymore. And the radio, as it used to be, would force you to do that. So this show is our old-time radio hour. We have Lori reading a story. And because the show is on November 2nd, which is part of Dia de Muertos,
of course,
she'll be reading a story about La Llorona, who's a folktale,
Yes.
scary folktale of kind of it's like throughout all different, like all different cultures in Latin America. It is a story of sort of warning your children not to stray from home because La Llorona will get them. Don't go by the river. So Lori will be reading a story. Our drummer in Laboratorio, Alex Marrero, is also a radio host, as well as being a musician. He's the host of Horizontes, the Latin music show on KUTX. He's going to be kind of our on-air personality during the show.
I get it. Yeah.
There may be a few commercials that we are working on. We have another radio personality helping us, Felix Contreras, who is a journalist and NPR host.
Yeah.
And programs all the Latin music on Tiny Desk. He's joining us as well.
Wow.
And he's been kind of helping me on the producing end. So we have this star-studded cast. The band includes Adrian Quesada on guitar, Roscoe Beck on bass, Peter Stopshinsky, who will be joining me today on the piano, and a little feature by David Polkingham on nylon string guitar.
Ooh.
Am I leaving anyone out? Probably.
Well, today you also have Luke Jacobs in the studio because you are going to perform for us. I knew that actually.
Yeah.
And wow, that's so exciting. And what has been the feedback just in the last couple of years?
Yeah, well, I mean, one thing that's just so much fun is that every show is so vastly different. I think, in fact, the last time I visited y'all here in the studio, we were preparing a Laboratorio show that was a classical edition. And we had Claudia Chapa, mezzo-soprano, singing with us, and Beyonce playing cello. So I love hearing, people come who, first thing they say usually is, wow, this is just so different than the last one. I learned XYZ. I feel like the audience as well as the people on stage are all learning from each other and hearing these stories sometimes for the first time. And it's just like we're all in it together, and it's a really beautiful experience.
Well, even your two featured guests sound like their music will be quite different. So that's within that concert. So that's amazing. So it's not just one thing, and often we just think of Latino music as a certain thing, and it's just not. And there are influences from everywhere, kind of like jazz.
Absolutely. Yeah. The soul.
Yes.
That is a song that my great aunt, who was a performer, recorded in the 1940s. And it's one of the first things I heard her sing. And so growing up, I always heard about her. She was a family legend. My grandmother would tell me I had this great aunt who died very young, so I never met her, but who performed in, concert halls all over South America, Central America, and United States, and was in Mexican films and had gold records. And I always kind of, it's not that I didn't believe her, but I wondered if maybe it was an exaggeration.
Yeah.
Until one day she shared her music with me. My grandmother sent me all of these digitized CDs from her sister Eva Garza's old records, and putting on that first album and hearing my great aunt's voice. It was a alto, just super passionate voice, and it made me just have to sit down and cry, to be honest. And I heard it with all the kind of out of tune, because you could hear this. The records had been a little warped, so the strings were kind of in and out of tune, which I mentioned in one of my songs. So that was my first experience listening to my great aunt's music. And so as I was building this show, this upcoming Laboratorio show, I was thinking about my great aunt Eva performing on these radio shows. And I actually, in doing some research, found out that she was a regular, not only on Voice of America, which was broadcast to where troops were stationed all over the world.
Yes.
But also, there was a period of time where she lived in Mexico City, and she was a regular on this very popular radio station there for almost a decade.
Wow.
I even found a commercial for Fab laundry detergent out of Panama, actually, that my great aunt recorded. Wow. I found it on YouTube. Wow. Her singing this fabulous Fab commercial.
What an amazing lineage, actually. That's just incredible. I think there might be video, if not videos, we can catch some of her music online.
Oh, yes, yes.
Because I know I looked this up the last time you were here, although I wasn't the host at that time, to just hear what your great aunt did. So it's really cool.
About the radio. It's called Miles Away, and it is from the theater production that just premiered with TPA this past January, called Postcards from the Border. It was a collaboration with a wonderful writer, Oscar Cáceres, and a photographer, Joel Salcido, also with my husband, Luke Jacobs, who did documentary footage within the piece. So basically, this theater show is a journey along the entire Texas-Mexico border, from one end to the other.
Right. Wow.
And we take the audience with us on this road trip. And along the way, they hear about it through these postcards that Oscar reads. And they're written to his 10-year-old daughter, Elena, who's back in Austin. And he's trying to share a different story about the border than what we hear about in the news. These are the human stories. This is the rich culture that has been there for so many generations. And so the song I'm going to play today, Miles Away, is kind of, in a way, it's me speaking to Oscar's daughter, Elena, talking about being far away from a place, but still feeling connected. And the music is something that I feel like right now is a really important way to tell our story. And it's a way for some of these walls we put up to come down. Oh. Music's a great conduit for that. That was captured in the room. Pop and is the needle in the groove. So much I miss the record is the proof I dreamed I was low. Beltran, you were Javier Solis, and we were bailando while you sang to me. I dreamed I was low. Lola Beltran was one of the great artists in the era of my great aunt, which is called the Época de Oro, the golden era of Mexican film and music. And this song is kind of my daydream of what it would have been like to see a performance in that era, maybe to be at a fancy supper club and everyone's in satin gowns and tuxedos. And I talk about Lola Beltran, who is one of my favorite ranchera singers, and also Javier Solis, who was a real handsome heartthrob singer and actor.
Oh, wonderful. Can't wait. Well, I want to thank you for all of the music you performed today and for taking time with us on Classical Austin. Carrie Rodriguez, thank you so much.
I'm so honored to be here. Thank you for including me.
Such a delight. And a reminder, folks, the upcoming performance of Laboratorio will take place on November the 2nd, 7 p.m. at McCullough Theater as part of Texas Performing Arts. There will be another one in January as well. And just an aside, but a lovely aside, you will also be performing the Consperari Christmas concert this year.
Yes, I'm very excited.
You did it once before, back in 2017. Can't wait to hear that as well. So thank you so very much, Carrie Rodriguez.
Thank you, Diane.